Vow 88.1.
Good times, good music, for good.
Good times, good music, for good.
For good.
You are still tuned into the Business Buzz here on Vow FM 88.1, and it is time for a business breakthrough. This evening, we are speaking to a mobility content and stakeholder manager. Her name is Anazi Piper, and I do apologize. Earlier on, I said Anazi. It is Anazi Piper, who is a woman who is passionate about creativity, about innovation, and a woman who pushes boundaries. So we are going to be talking to Anazi about a very, impactful summit that is hosted by the Vuga Group. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Hi, Ntando. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Anazi, before we get into the Smarter Mobility Summit, I want you to tell me a bit more about the Vuga Group, because I know that this is a business with purpose, and we love businesses that empower, that connect people, and that encourage a culture of entrepreneurship. So what does the Vuga Group do?
Yes, thank you for that question. Very good one. So Vuga Group has four portfolios that we do events for B2B events. That's mining, energy, retail, and mobility. And we definitely fall under the mobility portfolio. And this is where the Smarter Mobility Africa Summit comes in. We've actually been hosting this summit for the past 6 years. This would be the 6th year of hosting the summit. So yeah, we're very excited to go back in time, but also look into the future.
So, you had introduced the Vuga Group earlier on, and then I wanted to ask you, what is the Smarter Mobility Africa Summit about?
Yeah, so Smarter Mobility Africa, it's a mega meeting summit. We want to advocate for sustainable mobility. And at the heart of it all, we want to actually improve how we're moving people and goods efficiently within our country and obviously across the continent. So the event is taking place next week from the 2nd to the 4th of October, and it's going to take place at the Gallagher Convention Center in Midrand. We're hoping to definitely bring together all these big players of the transport industry. We're going to be bringing innovators. We're going to be even bringing government and policymakers to make sure that we harness the future of mobility in our urban areas. And this year, our key theme is embracing the new urban era through smarter mobility. And what that means is we want to ensure that mobility is serving the people, the economy, and the environment effectively. So, yeah, by taking this approach, we're aiming to transition our cities from an old urban era to a new urban era.
And, I'm glad that you mentioned government and policies, because I know that global cities are focusing on policy frameworks, public mandates, on reducing emissions and congestion, by reducing the number of vehicles on the road. So firstly, I want to ask, is this similar to what you're trying to achieve?
Yes, this is definitely what we're trying to achieve. It's not only the main objective. We definitely want to reduce emissions. We want to change climate change. We want to improve the way we travel, not only because we want to reduce it, but we want to make sure that people can get onto the train, they can get onto the taxi efficiently and effectively without having to worry about their safety, without having to worry about the unreliability of the mode of transport, but to actually just trust that they're going to get from point A to point B affordably, accessibly, and efficiently.
And I mentioned, global cities, but of course we are Africans, our needs are different, our resources are different, in most cases limited. And, it's great that you're encouraging innovation, but minibus taxis, for example, are responsible for 25% of South Africa's passenger transport mix, So, how are you then adapting this to the African context?
I'm glad you actually asked that question. So it was coming up in one of my highlights. So we are working with the minibus taxi industry. We actually have Santako who will be represented, on our program, and they'll be interacting along with the private sector. We actually, I don't want to reveal too much, but we will be launching Africa's first electric minibus taxi in partnership with Flex EV. So that's something that we're actually excited about. We want mobility that's inclusive for all. That's why I stress that it's affordable, it's accessible, and it's efficient for the general population, and not just for the minority or those who can afford it.
That is very interesting what you just shared with us there. You know, the mobility industry is changing at a rapid speed, and I'm glad that there are opportunities that are being created, new opportunities for both existing and new businesses. So I really look forward to an update one day on that after the summit has happened. Now, I just want to move on to, because firstly, who are your partners?
Well, we can't disclose some of them,
Okay.
but we are partnered with Gauteng Department of Roads and Transport. We have had this partnership over the 6 years. So we've been working with them very closely, and we have a lot of partners in the private sector that have literally been supporting this event, but also not just supporting, but shaping and harnessing where mobility is going. Like, we've gone so far compared to where we started in 2014. And I've been on this project and working on this since the launch and inception in Africa. So yeah, we're looking at very, very exciting projects that I don't want to reveal because then it will kill the event. But come to the event, see for yourself firsthand your Ubers, your in-drives, boats, and of course the government from various sectors, from municipality to national and provincial.
And I mean, what else can one expect to take away from attending the summit? So is this just for, you know, sharing information and seeing different innovations? Can one who has a business idea or who has started a business in mobility, get funding, or what exactly is going to happen at the summit?
Yes, definitely. So we have our mobility investment project pitches from small scale businesses all the way up to national big projects, where we basically pair up the project with an investor. So it's not just a talk shop. We're all about action. This summit wants to, plug you into the future, basically, of transport, where you learn about the latest electric vehicles, you learn about innovative business models. That's highlighted in our mobility investment pitches. You also get a glimpse of the policy frameworks that are being shaped and driven by government, and as well government working with academic and private sector to shape the sector. You'll also get to network with some of the biggest names that I've mentioned, some of them in the industry. So it's just like a fun crash course on how to achieve the sustainable mobility, and just add a bit of inspiration, because you get to see these products in actual real life through our exhibitions and our partners.
And if I do have an idea or a business, at what stage does my innovation need to be in order to qualify for funding? Are we looking at ideas, prototypes, working products, existing businesses?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely are looking at sort of a prototype. This year we've definitely expanded the scope and the reach. We did have very, very strict, measures before, but now we've expanded our reach because of the niche environment is becoming now more, it's a need now. It's no longer a niche, it's more of like a need, and people are starting to see that, they can play in the space. It's no longer a niche environment or only for a specific type of population. So now we've definitely expanded our scope, like I said, from small scale all the way through to national projects. We'll definitely be showcasing that at the summit from the 2nd to the 3rd of October.
I know that there are a lot of students who listen to our show, so I really have to ask, is the summit free? Are there free passes for students, who are interested in attending?
Yeah, I mean, look, we would definitely want to encourage students to come and want them to see this technology for themselves. That's why we've actually partnered with University of Johannesburg and other academic institutions, so that, students get a front row seat to the future of mobility. So they'll be able to get free access through our Expo Pass. So they'll be able to also get discounted rate, because we've managed to basically customize our attendance passes for students, because we saw that it didn't allow them to participate in the exhibitions as much as they wanted to. But this time they can participate and see the exhibitions, as well as attend some workshops, which will be located on the exhibition floor.
And then lastly, if one does want to attend, what is the registration process? Which website should we head over to? When is the summit? Is it next week?
Wednesday.
Next week, Wednesday.
Starts.
Okay. So how do we register and make sure that we attend?
Yeah, I would really encourage everyone to just go online, go on to smartermobilityafrica.com, or you can go on to wearevuka.com/mobility, and then you'll be able to register under the tickets. We've definitely customized our tickets for academics, students, as well as startups. So I encourage everyone to just go on our website and register. We'll also be registering for the Expo Pulses on site that will take place at 7:30 on the morning of.
Thank you so much for that. That's a lot of information, great information, useful information. If you are listening and this sounds like something that could inspire you, I mean, you have the opportunity to meet leading investors, industry experts, then you do need to register and attend this summit. Anazi just gave us a little highlight of something very exciting that you could expect at the summit next week. But I know that there is so much more that one can see. I'm really going to try attend it. I hope that you will too. Thank you so much for joining us, Anazi Piper.
Thank you, Ntando, for having me, and I look forward to seeing you the next weekend.
Thank you. You'll see me. And that was the Mobility Content and Stakeholder Manager for the Vuga Group. I don't know. I think we all just got excited here in studio hearing what Anazi had to say. And I definitely do want to head over there next week. And that is how we end the business breakthrough this evening. Coming up next, it is Innovation Insights.
Giving you all you need to know in the world of business. The Business Buzz. Thursdays, 7 to 8 p.m.